Good evening, and welcome to The Parent Impact. I'm your host, Tafshier Cosby, and this is presented by the National Parent Union. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You could have been anywhere on the internet, anywhere surfing, watching TV, binge watching Netflix, but you're here with us, and we appreciate you. So, welcome tonight, Tuesday, January the 19th. So excited about this day. This day actually sits in between two really important days for our nation and for our cities and for our communities. Yesterday was Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Remembrance and National Day of Service. And then tomorrow is our inauguration 2020 of our new president and vice president. So I'm so excited for both of those things to happen. So this day sits in between there. So I thought we would have a conversation about those 2 days. My guest who was supposed to be here with us tonight could not be here, unfortunately. We will have to reschedule them to a later date. So you just get me tonight talking about a few of the important things. And I want to reach out to you guys to see what's been going on with everybody out there. What's going on with you? I know this weather has been crazy mild. I went outside yesterday and the weather has been so mild. I think we are so blessed in the Northeast to have this really mild weather that we've been having. I'm gonna knock on wood because I don't want to jinx anything. I don't want to say that. And then all of a sudden we have like a blizzard next week. So I think we have been really fortunate and having this warm weather, able to go out and still be out in the community. I hope that we are still masking up. Our COVID numbers for the state of New Jersey are still on the rise, especially after the holidays, Christmas and New Year. So please make sure that you are still masking up, wearing your mask and being safe, washing your hands. So let's start with a few Newark updates for today. This is an update from, I think this was from a couple of days ago. It was posted in Chalkbeat. 1 in 5 Newark students were chronically absent this fall. 20% of our students in Newark Public Schools were chronically absent from September to November, a 5-point increase over the previous year. And there were some new rules established through the Newark Public Schools and also for the New Jersey Department of Education regarding attendance. When students are marked late, how long do they have to be on? Do they have to log in the morning? So there was an effort to help the students who were struggling to log on time remotely. That was done in the effort to help those students. But with that, we still have a chronic absence of students happening. So parents, while I do appreciate all the things that the school has been doing to help the students and make sure that they are logging on and that they are following attendance rules, please get involved, right? Please be mindful. Please monitor your children. Please make sure that they're logging in. Attendance is important. They have to be logged in remotely in order to actually get the knowledge that they're being given remotely. I know we are all, in this reaching this COVID wall. I know for myself, I've reached the COVID wall. You want to be out, you want to be free. There are still people who are sick from COVID. So please make sure that, again, you are masking up. But while our students are still remote learning, please make sure that parents, you are monitoring and you are making sure that your students are logging in. My biggest fear from this, two biggest fears, is that there will be greater learning loss for students who are chronically absent or students who are not logging in remotely, or we'll have some of our students in high school potentially not even come back next year, right? We're trying to reach that 100% mark in the city of Newark for students graduating from high school. And I fear, in the 2021-2022 school year, that we'll have less of those students. So parents, again, my call to you, please make sure that you're monitoring your students. Please make sure that they are logging in and getting the education that they need. We are already going to have some type of learning loss, and we don't need to make it any greater. We need as many students as possible to make sure that they're logging in and doing what they need to do so they can graduate from high school and have a life where they're able to live, learn, and earn. In our urban communities, we're already struggling, and we really don't want to see this increase anymore. So please make sure, parents, that you are being diligent with that. New Jersey updates. More New Jersey schools are switching back to in-person or hybrid learning after the holidays. I got an email from a few parents in New Jersey. They were talking about their schools opening up. They were not in support of that. This was in northern New Jersey. my advice to those parents was make sure that they're part of the conversation, make sure they are having conversations with those school districts, make sure that they are making sure the schools are clean, making sure that they have an idea of what the school day is going to look like when their students actually return in person. In Newark, Newark Public Schools and a few of our charter schools have actually pushed back their date. Newark still has a very high rate of COVID infection, so we have pushed the dates back a little further, some in April. So just be mindful, parents. That's happening across the state of New Jersey. There are a lot of schools that are opening. So some data on that. Last week, 80 districts with full in-person instruction. That's up from 77 from the previous week. So 3 more schools actually open for full in-person instruction. 360 districts are offering some type of hybrid in-person and remote. That's up from 348. So there are more districts that are actually opening up in some type of hybrid in-person. 325 are all remote, so that's down from 339, and 46 are using a mix of remote, in-person, and hybrid learning. Although I don't know what that could possibly look like. All 3 of them, that might be a little confusing trying to keep up with the students. But so to date, 111 schools have hybrid COVID-19 outbreaks in New Jersey involving 555 students, teachers, staff members since August 2020. So there have been 111 school outbreaks due to COVID-19 within the school districts since August. So I guess a lot of schools are thinking that they're able to go back. Latrice is asking, what is the COVID rate in those areas? The COVID rate in those areas, a lot of them are from Northern Jersey, and a few of them are from some South Jersey. But the COVID rate in those areas has reduced in some of those areas. In some of the areas, it's still high, right? It's not as high as what we're seeing in Newark, but it has been reduced. And a lot of the teachers, a lot of the parents, a lot of the school districts feel like they can open. They feel like the school doesn't have a high transmission rate, that a lot of students aren't going to be testing negatively for COVID or even contracting COVID. Again, parents, get in on these conversations. I've been talking about this since last year. Make sure that the school districts know your feeling on this. Make sure that they are asking you how you feel. They are asking you about your individual child, and also still giving you the option of remote learning or some type of hybrid, right? If they're just saying the school's going to open and that's it, you don't have anything to say, that is a lie. Please make sure that you get in there, that you're having these conversations, that you're writing to your school leaders, you're writing to your principals, letting them know how you feel as a parent, right? The schools are making these arbitrary decisions and not even talking to parents. A few months ago on the National Parent Union Survey, over 50% of the parents across the nation said that they were not involved in conversations regarding their schools reopening. And it seems like that's still happening, or parents were involved when school opened up either in August or September, but now less and less they're becoming involved, and the schools are making arbitrary decisions for your children. Please make sure that your voices are being heard. Please make sure that you are paying attention to what's happening. If your school is opening, if you are in one of those locations in New Jersey where your school is actually going to be open, please make sure that you have access to the plan. What does the school day look like for the students? What does the cleaning look like? Have they been able to get new air filters, HEPA filters, to make sure that your children are being safe? Are the children going to stay together in groupings within one classroom, right? We don't want kids moving around the building. Is the teacher going to come into their room? What does lunch look like? Are they going to be together in a lunchroom? Is lunch going to be served to the students inside their classroom? All of these are questions that you need to be asking. And if you don't know the answer to, then parents, you really need to be getting the answer to these questions. This is your child. This is a school that they're going to be in. This is, however many hours they're going to be there for the day. You need to make sure that your child is walking into a safe building, that all precautions have been taken, that you know exactly what's going to happen. You know what arrival looks like. You know what dismissal looks like, and making sure that you are being the best advocate that you can for your child. And then also, depending on the age of your child, making sure that they're advocating for themselves, right? Asking them if they're in the school building, what happened at school today, right? Did the teacher make sure that you washed your hands? And also teachers, If you're going back into these buildings, make sure that you are practicing safe distance from the students. I know it's hard for teachers. I know, especially the little ones. I've seen so many kindergartners and first graders. They want to hug their teacher. They want to hug their classmates. They really, some of the younger ones, they really don't understand what's happening. But please make sure that you're having these conversations with your children. This also means that they're going to have to wear a mask all day, right? If you have a child that may have a problem and you feel like your child cannot wear a mask all day, please make sure that you are speaking up in these conversations. Schools need to know how parents feel about schools opening up. They need to know that you're in the know about the things that they need to do to open up these schools. So please, I urge all the parents in the state of New Jersey and everybody hearing my voice, please make sure that if your school is opening, um, please make sure that you are in these conversations and that you know what to ask for when these schools are opening back up. This is your child's safety that we're talking about, and we need to make sure that your children are safe in these schools. So let's talk a little bit about MLK Day. Like I said, I don't have a guest today, unfortunately, but we're going to talk a little bit about Martin Luther King Day. Um, when my children were younger, we used to do a lot of service projects. We would go out into the community. A lot of times we would go to the Newark Museum. We would watch the "I Have a Dream" speech, and we would really make sure that we were doing some type of service or really recognizing Dr. King for all of the work that he's done for our communities, all of the work that he's done for our nation, all the work that he's done for Black people in our southern states and in our northern states. So what did you do yesterday? I'm just posing the question to everyone. What did you do yesterday? What did you do for a day of service, right? It used to be a Remembrance Day, but it's now become a day of service. And just some factual information. MLK Day became a federal holiday in 1983. And as of the year 2000, all 50 states made it a state government holiday. I used to say that I was going to retire in Arizona when they made Dr. King's birthday a holiday, and they have. So Arizona, I can still retire out there. Yes, I would like to retire in the Midwest. So since all 50 states have now made it a holiday, what did you do? What did you do for Day of Remembrance? I know it wasn't easy, or Day of Service. With COVID, a lot of things were closed. There were a lot of virtual things that were going on. I watched the Sounds the City last night concert that was happening online from the city of Newark. It was amazing and beautiful. Thank you to everyone who put that together. It was so good. I attended a few lectures that were happening around and really spoke to Dr. King's dream, really spoke to who he was as a person, and really spoke to how the March on Washington was really a march about jobs, right? It wasn't just a march to say we're here, right? There was a reason why all those people showed up. There was a reason why the civil rights marches were happening. There was a reason behind it, right? Dr. King, he tried a lot to do a lot of things that were peaceful. They had peaceful protests and rallies and things like that. They were met with violence. He still tried to be peaceful with people and really have people think about everyone being humans, right, in this space, especially in the United States. But really, it was about making sure that there were jobs for people, making sure that there was something radical happen that jolted the nation and jolted the federal government to take some action, right? Black people were dying. They were dying for their right to vote. They were dying for being Black. And the funny thing is, we're still saying that now, right? We're still saying it now. So let's not make Dr. King's Day in vain. Let's not make it in vain. Let's not make it, in another 5 years, 10 years, when we're celebrating the Day of Remembrance, that this day is not in vain. That the fight that Dr. King had, that we continue on and we make sure that we are making it better for our next generation of children. We don't want to continue to keep having the same fights, having the same conversation, Black people dying in the streets for something that was fought for 50 years ago. We're 50 years past this. Let's make sure that we're thinking about Dr. King and his work and everyone who worked with him, right? This wasn't an individual thing. This wasn't just Dr. King out here by himself making noise. It took an organized group of people. SNCC was part of it. You had so many people around the country who were organizing with Dr. King, And that's something that we all can learn today. The fantastic organizing model, something that we do with NEED, with Newark for Educational Equity and Diversity. Please join us on the 30th. Shameless push here, a shameless plug. Please join us on the 30th for our brunch and build session, where we teach the organizing cycle and we also organize together as a community. So please make sure that, yesterday, that if you did something, let me know. Put it in the chat. If you did something for Day of Remembrance for Dr. King, let us know what you did, and share it with us. So tomorrow, everybody, ladies, get your pearls. Get your pearls ready. I have 3 different sizes of pearls that I'm gonna wear. I may not wear them all at the same time, but shoot, doggone, I may wear them all at the same time. These are not real pearls, so if anybody wants to actually get me some real pearls, holla at me because these are not real. But I will be proudly wearing my pearls tomorrow for the inauguration of our 46th president, Joseph Biden, and our Vice President, Kamala Harris. Woo, woo, woo. I wish I had like a horn or something, like an air horn or something. Woo, inauguration day is upon us, everybody. It's been a long road to get here. We came together, most of us as a nation, to make sure that these people were elected into office, to make sure that we have people who we are going to hold accountable, right? We are going to hold these 2 people accountable. We're going to hold the people that they put in position accountable to make sure that they're doing what we voted them in to do. And I'm excited about Inauguration Day. I have some meetings tomorrow scheduled. So if I have to cancel a meeting or 2, don't just charge it to my heart, because I'm really excited about Inauguration Day. I'm really excited about watching it. Unfortunately, it will not be the fanfare that we normally would see. From the information that I have, the original amount of tickets that Congress was able to get would have been 200,000 people would have been invited to the inauguration. That ticket total is now down to 1,000 people. The buildings are heavily guarded. DC has been on guard since the lunacy that happened on the 6th. So please make sure, if you are traveling to DC, I'm not sure if anybody is, but if you are traveling there, please be safe, please be careful. But there are only going to be about 1,000 people there. The people who are going to be there, so 4 living presidents are going to be there. 3 actually, living presidents are going to be there. Barack Obama is going to be there. Woo! George W. Bush will be there, and Bill Clinton will be there. Donald Trump will not be in attendance. I know everybody saw that. He wasn't able to tweet it, but everybody know that he's not going to be there. He'll probably be at his I don't know where he's going to be, but he's not going to be there. And current Vice President Mike Pence will be in attendance there. So the inaugural committee is going to host a celebration for young Americans also. You can find it streamed on multiple platforms. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 12:30. So look for those if you have some young people that want to be engaged. They have some young people information that's going on, some conversations about young people, what this means to them, what this means, for whatever age they are, how they're going to move forward. And then you can watch it online, or you can watch it on all the major television stations. The ceremony is going to kick off tomorrow at 11:30. So if you can, whatever you are doing, please stop and make sure you are watching this inauguration from your home, that we are celebrating the inauguration of our 46th president, Joe Biden, and our Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm so excited, so excited. There will be a virtual parade that's going to happen. Normally they walk down the National Mall and they do a parade and they have everybody lined up on the side. So this year is going to be virtual instead. It will air at 3:15 on Wednesday on all the primetime networks. And then there's also going to be some primetime evening events that are going to happen from 8:30 to 10:30. And those will be hosted by Tom Hanks. So please, I don't know who's as excited as me, but I'm super excited about tomorrow's inauguration. Hopefully this is an opportunity for us as a nation to move forward. Even if you don't agree with Joe Biden as a Democrat, please make sure that we find ways to work together, that we can be bipartisan, and find ways to work together in our own communities, because this is where it starts. It starts from us working together in our communities, making sure that we're organizing together, making sure that we're thinking about the best interests of our families and our community members and our cities. So I'm hoping this is a turning point. I'm hoping that this is part of what heals our nation moving forward, because we desperately need to heal this nation. For anybody who is going to be in any of the state capitals, please be careful. There has been information that has been reported. I don't know how true this is, but please make sure that you're being careful at our state capitals. If anybody shows up, I'm praying and I'm hoping and I'm urging that it's a peaceful protest, that is not going to be some craziness like we had happen on the 6th. Please show up peacefully, right? Nobody needs to continue to have all this craziness happen around our state capitals. They're going to be heavily guarded. We don't want any bloodshed. We don't want anybody to be in any kind of situation. Show up peacefully. We are turning the page on our nation. We are coming together as a nation. So please, everybody, just please make sure that you are doing what you need to do. But I'm super excited. I repeat, ladies, get your pearls. Grab your pearls tomorrow. Wear your pearl earrings. Wear your pearl necklaces. In honor of the inauguration and our newest vice president, Kamala Harris. So let's see what everybody's doing out here. So Latrice is saying, please make sure you watch American Skin. It's a great family conversation about racial injustice. I'm actually going to watch that. I was supposed to watch it this weekend with my son. My son is the only one who lives here. I'm trying to wait for the rest of my family members, my daughter, my oldest son, to come over so we can watch this. I heard it was a really great movie. So if you have not yet, please watch American Skin. Latrice, please let us know what station that's on. What I should say what channel. I guess I'm dating myself by saying what channel. Well, what streaming platform does American Skin come on? Please let us know. Thank you for that recommendation. Mr. Elliot Garland, hey, coach. They participated in the statewide virtual conference. When he says we, I'm assuming he's talking about the International Youth Organization. We will have them on very soon. They will be guests of ours, I think the first or second week in February. We will have them on talking about more of the work that they're doing in the community, the work that they're doing with students, and the opportunities that people have to partner with them and really build a coalition in the city of Newark. They've been here for a very long time. My children attended International Youth Organization. It's not far from my house. Coach Elliott, he's a brother, he's an uncle, he's a dad, he's everything to a lot of these young men out here in this community. He's like step granddad, because a lot of them are old. A lot of them are like 30 years old now. So he's like step granddad to a lot of their kids, and he's really been out here grinding for, 25 years, and he's not even that old. So he's literally been grinding since he was a teenager out here in these streets. So we're looking forward to having the conversation with him and others at International Youth Organization. So thank you for the state virtual conference, Coach Elliott. They also cleaned their garden and dropped food to senior houses and shelters. Thank you very much for your community service. I know this is something that you actually always do, right? You guys, I see you a lot. I see you have your New Jersey Youth Corps students. They are always in the community, always out here making sure that they are doing community service things in the community, out here getting it done. So thank you so much, Elliot and the IRO crew, for your day of service on MLK Day and for everything that you do. We're looking forward to talking to you guys. Chastity, good evening. Good evening, Chastity. How are you? Good to see you. Latrice says that the American Skin is actually showing on Amazon Prime. So if you have that, please check it out. I'm going to check it out as soon as I can. Thank you, Latrice. Thank you for that. We'll be checking it out. Vicky, I don't have audibility. I'm sorry, Vicky. I don't know if it's me. I hope everybody can hear me. I don't know if everybody can hear me out here in the street. Thanks for coming by, Vicky. We appreciate you. So tonight we're just talking about MLK Day. We're talking about the inauguration. And if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, we have for the National Parents Union, the next parent clapback is going to happen on February the 3rd. I put 2020. Look at me going backwards in time, y'all. 2021 at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's Black History Month. The conversation is going to be centered around Black history. It's going to be centered around parents who are activists, parents as activists, and being authentic in our conversations. You're going to hear from some really great speakers, and you're going to meet some of our council members. So please make sure you join us. I will be sharing the link out soon. It's going to be on the Parent Impact Facebook page and our Twitter pages. So please make sure that you join us for that. Thank you for everyone who joined us at last month's Parent Clapback. It was amazing. Dr. Herda was amazing. She is a legend out here in these organizing streets. She has been organizing for over 40 years. She is just a dynamic woman. She's still spry, right? She's still like feisty. And her message to parents was really make sure that you're involved and make sure that you are doing the most that you can for your community. So please join us on February the 3rd for the next Parent Clap Back. Thank you so much. And then Sophia, I can beat you. I don't know what that means. Sophia, elaborate. Say more. Say more. I'm not really sure what that means. Vicky, thank you. I'm glad you have audibility now. I'm glad you're able to listen to us. Um, and will I speak about Cindy Martin appointed by Biden? Amelia, I don't think I have enough information about that, but I will absolutely speak on it next week. I will get some more information about Cindy Martin being appointed by newest President Joe Biden. I will absolutely write that down and speak on that next week when I get more information about that. If you'd like to share your opinion on Cindy Martin being appointed by Biden, please do. Please share in the comments. And we welcome comments. We welcome all information that anyone has. Sophia, I can hear you. Oh, okay. Typo. Thanks, Sophia. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for being here with us tonight. So, like I said, please join us on February the 3rd for National Parent Union Clap Back. This is going to be amazing. I'm going to be on there. I'm going to be having some amazing conversations with some fantastic people. So please make sure you join us for that. And if you have not already, please join the National Parents Union. Membership applications are open. Join the force of authentic parents across the nation, authentic parent voices. We are out here organizing. We are working with parents to help them be able to have those tough conversations with their schools. We are working with parents to help them help their children on social and emotional learning. We are working on so many things. We would love to have you join us. New Jerseyans, please hit me up. T. Cosby at parentimpact.org. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, we are currently looking for guests for the 2021 school year. We're looking for anybody who has a story, right? It doesn't have to be, this heroic story of, how you overcame and all these other things. We are looking for families to tell their story, their authentic stories about their life, about their children, about their advocacy. If you are an elected official, if you are a parent and you've been elected to any kind of office and you want to come and share your story, there are a lot of parents out here in the state of New Jersey, a lot of Black people who have been appointed or elected to office in 2020 or 2021, a lot of them. And I would think in 2021 in the state of New Jersey that we would have more Black people on things like school boards and council people. But there are a lot of Black people being elected to office in the state of New Jersey. So I'm going to have a list of those in the next few weeks in the month of February to just kind of let people know who these people are, celebrate them. New Jersey is a progressive state, but there are still a lot of firsts that are happening in our state. And I really want to make sure that we shine a light on these people, give them a platform, an opportunity to come and share their stories. And anybody else who wants to share a story, please let us know. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. I appreciate everyone who is here. Please make sure you, again, wear your pearls, watch the inauguration, follow us on Twitter, parent_impact, follow us on Facebook, and we will absolutely have a guest next week to come and talk about the things that are happening. This is January, is Get Yourself Together month, right? New year, new you. We're going to talk about some ways that, people can kind of get themselves together and really start this year off right. Start this year off with a bang and start this year off making sure that you are thinking about what you are doing and how you can contribute and ways that you are using your advocacy for your child, for your family, for your community. So Amelia has, we need to get our underserved communities in San Diego to chime in and voice our experience during the time Cindy has been our superintendent. So if you'd like to come on, Amelia, T. Cosby at Parent Impact, send me an email. We can have some of your community come and discuss We also have advocates in California who also have shows on the National Parents Union site. They can also highlight some of the things that you're talking about for your underserved communities. We absolutely want to make sure that we are raising the voice of authentic voice of families and sharing out what's happening in communities, but also sharing ways that we as family members and we as organizers and activists can make a change, right? We don't want to just talk about things that are happening. We want to make sure that we are organizing together and that we are coming together in our communities, in our towns, in our states, across the nation to make sure that we are doing what needs to be done. We are taking action to right the wrongs and make sure that we have equity within our cities, within our communities, in our education, and all throughout our nation. So just let me know if you want to come on, Amelia, please hit me up. Anyone else, if you'd like to be a guest, T Cosby at Parent Impact. And thank you guys for joining me tonight. Have a amazing Tuesday, and we'll see you next Tuesday night. Thanks, guys. Bye.